Hindi ko alam na meron palang... Ay! Oh my God! Oh my God! May nagpaputok! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Nagpaputok! Oh my God! Sir? Oh my God! Sir, what's happening? Oh my God! Sharon Julius! Nagpaputok! Nagpaputok! Yung mga marines! Bakit? Oh my God! Oh my God!
Now, this video is not really about politics. Dili ni siya about sa politika. But we will be talking about why the gunshots that were heard is traumatic both for the people nga naa sa sulod dito sa Senado and of course for the people nga gatanaw lang sa social media. Ngano ka affected tang tanan? And right now we will talk, discuss, and perhaps reflect why this event is very traumatic for everyone. So we both know na very thrilling kayo ang nahitabo for the past few days kay atong Monday, May 11, nagdagandagan si Senator Bato no from the grounds of the building going to the area kung asa sila ga session. No, it was very intense and very thrilling. And of course, 2 days after atong May 13, naanapoy another thrill nga nahitabo. And of course, we've heard the gunshots, we've heard multiple stories, and right now we're also kind of confused kung asa or unsa ba dito'y tinuod kahangin. But the question here is, ngano kaha traumatic ning gunshots nga atong nadungog inside the Senate? So for this video, we will categorize this into two parts. Number one is for the people that is inside the Senate, no, regardless if senator ka or if you're part of the media or the staff, it is still traumatic. And number two is for those people nga nagtanaw lang sa social media, may it be in Facebook, YouTube, or whichever platform. Now, for those people nga nasa sulod sa Senate, traumatic ni siya because ideally, kani magong Senate nato is considered as a very secured and a very safe space and building. No, wherein ideally, imposible kaayo nga makita og gunshots, no, kagubot dadto. And because of that, number one is mawala jud ang safety illusion sa mga tao, especially sa mga people nga naa dito, for the media, for the staff, or for the audience nga naminaw lang sa area. It can damage the illusion of safety. So primarily, it's mainly because ang fundamental belief sa mga tao nga naa dito is nawala, no, na-destroy siya, na-damage siya, knowing na kaniuntang very safe and secured area is pwede na siya nga mahimong danger zone sa bisag asa pa nga corner sa building. Number two is the loudness and the echo of the gunshots. And because sa building, sa sulod man sa building nahitabo itong mga gunshots, kaning mga sound, kaning mga tira, no, mga bangs nga nahitabo or mga warning shots nga gibuhat in between parties can be kanang makabungol kayo siya. And if makabungol kayo siya, it causes the brain to react, putting in a fight or flight response, flooding the body with cortisol or the stress hormones, and of course the adrenaline, wherein the person would just run and fight, no, and find a way para mahimo siyang safe from the gunshots nga nadungog. And of course, with these gunshots, makakause ni siya o ginatawag na to lasting anxiety, no? Maglisod yung hawa, daghan kaayo yung magasulod sa utok, mahimong paranoid that there is a danger coming for everyone. And lastly, there is what we call the fear of the unknown. Because since there was a lockdown, gipalong na ang suga, gipangsirada na ang mga portahan, gipanlock na ang every corner sa building, it would question the person that is inside kung unsa di ay gakahitabo. What is really going on? Are they still safe? Can they go home to their families? Kakahitabo ni siya at that time. And with that kind of scenario, it can cause what we call the PTSD or the post-traumatic stress disorder, wherein at a later time, at a later month or years perhaps, mag-aabot ang anxiety or paranoia nga naay coming nga danger bisag wala gani unta to. And this gets stuck to the brain and it becomes a loop na magbalik-balik na hinuon. So for the other side of the story is what we call the vicarious trauma or the secondary trauma. So if ang usa ka tawo gatanaw gani siya sa social media platforms, maybe in YouTube, Facebook or Instagram, and if it's especially if it's live or if it's in the news, and if it is something that is damaging, then it can definitely cause a trauma as well. And kani siya again ginatawag ni sila secondary or the vicarious trauma. Now, first thing is there is this what we call the mirror neuron effect, wherein bisag wala ka sa area, you would hear the newscasters shout or the staffs scream or mga unsa ba ng mga fear nga gakita nimo o gakandunggan nimo during the event would also be empathized sa usa ka tawo nga nagatanaw lang sa social media. And if that happened, it stimulates the brain as if like you were really there. And if you feel nga naa ka dadto, syempre ma-feel nimo nga naa jud gihapoy kahadlok, naay paranoia, naay anxiety that something could go wrong. The other one is what we call the symbolic trauma. Now kaning mga Senate manggod nato is a symbol of dignity and integrity. And since nakita nato nga even ang ilahang area is affected, even their safe space is damaged, then on our end, we would actually feel and sense this collective grief and helplessness nga ay pati di gihapon sila pwede jud day gihapon nga madamay unsa na lang ka kita nga ordinary and normal citizens lang diri sa Pilipinas. And if you feel that pati kita madamay, it would be an attack no on the stability of the society itself. And again, we would feel that there is a problem, there is this fear of danger. And of course, natay ginatawag nga flashbacks. And kaning flashbacks, especially for those people nga naanay previous encounter nga either direct sila naka-feel og trauma from a gunshot or secondary no or something similar nga affected kaayo sila, it can be a flashback nga pwede mahimong powerful trigger nga ma-feel nila again ang anxiety, ma-feel nila again ang encounter, ang helplessness, ang powerlessness during that time nga nakadungog sila. And it brings back the memories, no? And mahimo siyang, kumbaga, mura siyang mahimong brand new na hinuon. And that affects the lifestyle and the daily living of a person kung naay flashback na mahitabo. So, ang direct effect or result aning exposure, maybe if you were in the Senate or if nagtanaw lang ka sa social media, is that number one, it can cause a disbelief and a shock. Nga, makaunaw na ka nga, uy, nahitabo yun eh, is it really possible na mahitabo ni siya sa Senate? No? And of course, it can also create what we call a hyperarousal, wherein mahimo kang tarantitit, no, dali ra ka makuratan if ever nga naay gamay lang gani nga tingog sa imong palibot. It can cause that hyperarousal. And lastly, it will also create a survivor's guilt, wherein makahuna-huna ka, why am I safe while others were in danger, no? Mangabot na siya, probably it might be related to the flashback na imuhang naagian or imuhang na-encounter. But with all these being mentioned, it is important that we remember that healing takes time. So, katong mga gunshots nga kadunggan sa mga reporters, sa mga staff, and even with the senators there, it might be traumatic and dili na siya diretso nga mawala sa ilang mga. They might be in their offices or in their workplace right now, thinking, and we see them, might be thinking that they are safe, but sa ila pong mga kanya-kanyang pagunahuna og sa ilaha pong mga gipambati, gakulbaan po na sila o gakahadlok po na sila nga basin mabalik na po ang same traumatic event ato nga day. And again, the only way for them to be able to heal is to take time, no? It will heal through time. And it is important that we understand na kung nagani mga traumatic na event, the best thing to do, no, is to accept and acknowledge the presence of this trauma. In that way, you can make the first step of recovery. I hope you learned something from that discussion, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.